The Cowboys this weekend are in Jacksonville. I can't figure out the Jaguars, Peter. They are so wildly inconsistent. They get their asses kicked by the Lions, and then they go down to Nashville and dismantle the division-leading Titans to the point where all they have to do now is make up one game over the next 3 weeks, and Week 18, Tennessee at Jacksonville, is for the AFC South crown, as incomprehensible as that would be. Let's hear from Trevor Lawrence on when, for him personally, the switch flipped on his second NFL season.
I'll never forget how I felt in that locker room after the game. You know, obviously it wasn't a good day for me, and I really just felt like, it felt like that a couple times, but none more than after that game. Really felt like I let the team down. You know, should have won that game. I think we had lost 4. That was our 5th one in a row. So I never forgot how I felt in that locker room. I don't want to feel like this anymore. You know, I'm gonna 1, start taking care of the ball, but 2, I just want to be the player that I know I can be. And I think that kind of flipped a switch in me. And honestly too, I think I have a little bit more of a chip on my shoulder now, just because, you know, last year and a half, I don't really forget what's been said and what people have written. And now, you know, you see people change their mind after a couple weeks. And but I remember everything.
By the way, that game was the loss to the Broncos in London earlier this year. Yeah. Now, they still have been win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and they played the Chiefs. I mean, you know, what do you expect? But still, I want to see them put at least 2 good games together. And they have the Cowboys coming to town. 4-point favorites are Dallas. And the Cowboys, after almost suffering an incredibly embarrassing loss to the Texans last week, a game that they found a way to win when they were 17.5-point favorites. That makes it more of a challenge because I think the Jaguars are going to have more focus from the Cowboys this week than otherwise. But, Peter, do you believe that Trevor Lawrence and company can show us the kind of consistency that maybe could thrust them into the playoff conversation?
You know, Mike, what occurs to me watching Trevor Lawrence in recent weeks is, you know, talking to Doug Peterson after the game against Baltimore that, you know, they had the stunning win over the Ravens. And you know, I basically said this seems like a coming of age game for Trevor Lawrence. He said that's exactly what it was. And if you look at when he starts talking about, you know, I got to stop making those mistakes, which he made 3 of them, 2 interceptions, and then a terrible decision on one of his throws. You know, you have to look at what he's actually done the last 5 weeks. 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, that is an accomplishment in any league, never mind in the NFL, particularly when you're at Kansas City and at Tennessee among those games. But Mike, the most impressive thing to me about Trevor Lawrence, and I was looking at this Sunday and I just pulled it up again. Mike, look at his completion percentage over the last 5 weeks. 81, 73, 78, a clunker at Detroit, 55. But at Tennessee, 71 against a good defense. And, you know, the point is that he's not making mistakes. He's being much more efficient in his decision-making. And to me, what is clicking in now with Doug Peterson is what clicked in 2017 with Carson Wentz. If you simply take what's there, you are going to make enough plays to win most games. And, you know, he's getting fairly good protection, and he's having time to be the great quarterback he was drafted to be. And I find it interesting when I hear him, Mike, talk about, remembering what people said. And now, you know, watching him and seeing him change his mind. It's almost like a little bit of a rabbit ears thing. You know, he's hearing everything. And players, of course, say, I don't care what people say about me. But it is clear he does care. And so, I don't know, Mike, I look at him right now. They would be a fascinating team in the playoffs. Fascinating. But to be in the playoffs, very likely they have to beat Dallas at home and Tennessee at home. And that is not going to be easy.
And unfortunately, Micah Parsons didn't say anything about Trevor Lawrence on the Vaughn cast. That could have helped, right? That would have helped Trevor Lawrence get a little extra motivation if he is listening. And I like the candor because we know they are. I've interviewed so many players over the years, and you ask them a question about something somebody said, and they act like you're stupid. Like, why? Yeah, we don't care about that baloney. They do care about it. They do care about it. They look for anything they can to get themselves motivated, and they are human like the rest of us. They get pissed off when they feel like they've been disrespected. They get more focused. They do everything they're supposed to do. You know, it isn't about having more focus on game day. It's about watching your nutrition all week, getting your lifts in, studying your plays, getting hydrated, every little thing that you otherwise not possibly will be as focused on as you otherwise could be. You will be, because you are completely engaged in proving that person wrong. So Trevor Lawrence trying to prove doubters in the media and elsewhere wrong. We'll see if he can do it on Sunday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.